Smoke when we all celebrate success, so now we.
Hey guys, it has been a crazy long time since I've done any sort of update for you. So should probably have separated this into two separate updates, one for the garage and one for the car itself. But doesn't look like it, but we have been tidying up quite a lot. I've obviously created a bit of a cavity there. I've moved the tool cabinet over here. Quite a bit of stuff has gone back in the car. It's a lot of small stuff which I'll cover shortly. Engine, I'm eventually going to bring the gearbox and the clutch kit from over there. That stuff is going to end up here. And yeah, we'll get onto the car in a second. So everything's coming on this side to get fitted back to the engine, so that the engine and gearbox can go into the car as one. So the engine crane and stuff is made available. I've moved the air compressor here. That just makes it easier to access and to use. I do actually need to, it's quite a lot of moisture in there. I need to drain the water out of the tank, so I've just let it discharge all the air out of it. But yeah, we're going to sort this space out in time. For now, what I'm trying to do is create the necessary space to get this vehicle moved over a little bit so that the Cabrio can start parking in the garage. I really want to get that car inside the garage. So there's about 2 or 3 different projects running at the same time apart from the Golf. But yeah, tidying up the garage, getting some more space out of the garage is quite an important task at the moment. Hey Jenny. Hey girl. So I wanted to talk about these seats, guys, and you guys can sound off in the comments. Good idea, bad idea, let me know. But I'm thinking of getting rid of the Porsche Tombstones and the City Deco seats. Now, I bought a mismatched pair, obviously. The intention was always to recover these, so I didn't care that they were different colors. Having said that, they are perfectly fine seats. You know, a bit of a cleanup and they actually look amazing. They're very comfy. I was going to use the bases of the City seats to make rails, static rails, in the two-door. But if you look at how much space these things take up, I can almost gain 1.5 meters to 2 square meters just getting rid of these things. So plus the extra cash can go back into this project. I'm thinking of keeping with these seats. Every time I sit in the car, they are super comfortable. Minor work and they'll be perfect. And this is actually perfect. If I could find a driver's seat in that condition, perfect. I could actually use these exactly as they are. So this one, I think a big guy used to drive this car, or used to drive on these seats, because he's obviously worn as he gets in and out of the vehicle. But I'm pretty sure that the upholsterer I'm going to go to could probably, first of all, shampoo these seats, and then probably have a similar or exact material to patch these up. If I was going for a lighter roof lining and sort of a grey OEM look, these would be perfect. But yeah, I do want to use this GTI material I bought, this stuff. So there's unfortunately I'm going to take these skins off. I'm going to do the same kind of thing: black leather shell on the inside of the bolsters up along here, and then the GTI material here in the front. I wanted to kind of match up that chunky ruffle pattern there all the way through, same stitching, everything. While we're talking about the interior, I wanted to have a quick discussion about these things. So this is the OEM light fitting. It's filthy, filthy dirty. I don't think it's ever worked since I got the car. I put a new festoon bulb in there, it's never worked. And then this is the newer modern Type 1. So I'm going with this one. This has a nice sort of gradual fade effect. I think that's the festoon from the original bulb, if I'm not mistaken, unless this came with this fitting. But anyway, so I mean, this was just a static. It's got the two spade connectors. Spade connectors go in here, and it's either on or off. And this used to go, when you open the door, I think on this middle setting, I think. So on, open with the door or on with the doors, and then off completely. Now this guy here, off, on permanently, and then obviously with each door. So let me show you what I had to do here. Now the first thing I wanted to tell you about is the shape. This one is a lot wider and a lot chunkier than this. So this little ridge on the inside was the original diameter, if I can say that, of the mounting here in the back. Sorry, here in the roof. Here in the back. So what I had to do here, let's hope the oh no, it says the light function is not working. I think I need to get a new camera soon. I took my Dremel with the cutting disc and I took like a mil or two off the sides here, and then I used a grinding wheel to basically grind slowly until I got the perfect fit for this fitting. So it is very tight, but that's exactly what I want. I don't want this thing rattling loose while I'm driving. Oh, there goes the light playing up again. And then, boom. And that's perfect. You'll see this is the new wiring. What is going on with this light? It doesn't like the fluorescent lights when I film at night. So the camera's having a hard time adjusting to... there we go. Okay. Kind of snookered myself there because you normally need a screwdriver to get this guy out, so I'm not going to force it, but I did run the new wiring harness. It pops out over here, ready to go, wiring up to this harness at some point. So yeah, so that'll be a lot nicer. I have ordered a mate of a mate is organized me the switches, the screws, and the rubber surrounds. For driver's side, passenger side, and the boot. So when I open the boot, this light will also come on, and the light in the boot, obviously. I had to take the dashboard out because, you know, when I was grinding, the Dremel would skip every now and again, and I'd take a chunk out. So I had to just, you see, there's some overspray there. I had to do a little bit of a prime and spray job just to stop any rust. And then I've also started. On the underpile, or the underfelt, whatever you want to call it, for the roof lining. This was just a test piece. I need to trim it down a little bit, that's why it's not fitting properly. But I have left a little bit extra on either side, on this side and that side, and here in the front, so that once I've glued it in, I can kind of tuck it in, and then you know, I'm basically just pressing up here on the outside. And this is a nice diameter. It kind of lines up with the ribs here. So we should be alright, and I'm going to ask the upholsterer to take a thin piece of foam and just cover the whole thing so it's uniform before the new roof lining goes in. Just a little bit of extra padding should make the nice, the new roof lining, I'm going with the black one, should make it nice and tight. Take away any flapping on the ribs, and just give this thing an overall much better finish. And then I've got for the A-pillars, I'll show you over here. My mate who supplied me with the underpile also made a template for me on these things. So basically, you can see a left-hand side, right-hand side, and then it's got some additional foam here. So I call this the shoe, this part here at the bottom, because it kind of looks like a boot. So the top edged piece will go up there. That black foam will go underneath, and then the white foam goes over with that little extension going there under the dash. So kind of it'll fold in over here. So that'll also give, so when the roof lining goes in, there's also a piece of vinyl, black vinyl, that kind of has a similar shape that goes over the A pillar and the B pillar and around the armrest section of the rear windows on either side. So that'll just finish things off nicely. So again, the mate of a mate, he's organized me a new rear washer jet, and then he's also organized me, there's two black plastic caps that go here, and they just basically, you know, service panels. So you snap in, sort it. I have one, the other one's missing a couple of clips, so it falls out the moment I open this. He's supplying me with the S-shaped grommets that go, so there's this hole here and this hole here. Now this side, the water bottle sits down here. I'd run the plastic tubing through the C-pillar. I'll probably start feeding it in from here, but basically it'll come out here, come into the door, pop out here and connect where my finger is. That's where the nozzle for the jet will sit, so, and use a Jubilee screw or something just to close it up. So that's the right hand side is obviously for the water, with everything sitting over here, and then the other side there's a similar grommet. That's for the electrics for this guy here. So I want everything to work, obviously, so I want working demister, I want working rear windscreen wipers. I've got the original camo spoilers here in the boot now. That'll obviously go on the top. Now I could actually put the glass back in because the glass is completely independent. However, I need the wiring in place for the demister. There's a spade connector on either side. So I need that, and I think they pop out, the wiring pops out here on either side. There's a little oval shaped grommet. Pops in here, and then it kind of follows this channel and it plugs in, and there's actually a channel in the rubber for the wiring and the spade connector. So I want a working rear demister, and I want working rear wipers and everything. Now I use the demister and the wipers. Some people don't, so they just have they have the demister windscreen. Totally up to you guys. Totally up to you. But yeah, once the roof lining is in place, the front windscreen can go in. Dashboard can go in to stay finally. I do have, so you'll see the door cards are out the car. Guys, I'm waffling, I'm sorry. I had a plan for what I was going to tell you, but this is also important. So the door cards are in the Jetta right now. I'm going to take them off to the upholsterer and see if she can sort me out with new backboards for those, and clean up the leather if possible. I do have another set of door cards. I need to pop them out and have a look at them, and maybe just take those with to see what she can do for those. They're in that box over there. Both have the these ones don't. The ones that are in the Jetta now have the armrest from the Golf Mark 1 Cabrio. These ones I think are straight. I think I have separate inserts in a box here somewhere. So yeah, so that's all going. Here's the dashboard. I needed to do a repair here and here. I haven't done it yet, and I also need to fix this. This is for the lid. I need to sort something out there. It keeps popping out. It's really irritating. So yeah, so this is just here temporarily, guys. It's actually going to go in the back seat once this stuff is sorted out. So tonight, my plan is to measure and cut the remaining bits and pieces, and then I'm not going to glue them tonight. I'll stick those in probably on the weekend. I just want to get them cut and ready. So there's that. Oh yes. So a while ago, I can't remember if I told you, but I bought this from an aftermarket shop. I'm not going to name it. These are aftermarket pieces, but this is for a left-hand drive vehicle, so it fits here. Now that's not a problem, and the latch that goes in the bonnet was also in reverse, basically. That's not a problem if the steering wheel and the handle on the left-hand side. I have a right-hand side vehicle. So a mate of mine actually was able to find out that Volkswagen South Africa has the original stuff. So I've got an original piece now, top and bottom, so that's at least ready for the cabling to go back in. There's the aftermarket piece, so I can probably put that in a box and add that to the pile of stuff to sell later, which is growing steadily. So yeah, the screws don't look very good, unfortunately. I'm going to have to give those a lick of silver paint. I'm adjusting this because it doesn't, it's not, annoyingly enough, the aftermarket piece worked, although it was backwards. The OEM piece isn't working when I close the bonnet. So I'm going to sort that out later. It just doesn't click down. I can't figure out, I think it's not in straight. So what are the chances of that? The aftermarket part works better than the factory original pieces. I'm just trying to think what else have we done recently. There's been lots of like little things have been going into the vehicle. These grommets for the armrests. these foam inserts. These are also for the door cards. I need to take a soldering iron or a Stanley blade and just make a channel for this pipe, for this wire to fit through. But yeah, guys, I'm going to crack on now. I need to measure and cut the roof lining, so that's all good to go. My poor car is filthy. My garage door is not sealing properly anymore. I think the rubber at the bottom has gotten hard and shrunk, so when the wind blows now, you know, we're getting these nice heavy high-felt thunderstorms now, and the dust is just blowing in that gap. It's really, really bad. So once the glass is back in, once the roof lining's in, and I put all the glass back in, I can actually give this thing a wash. Even if it's just a hose down for now. I bought a high pressure washer for the Cabrio. So when the Cabrio is parking, you know, obviously I'm still tidying up, so please forgive me, but two doors going to be turned around, so the nose is going to face here. She's going to stand about sort of there, and then there'll be enough space for the Cabrio and hopefully the quad, because all of this stuff is obviously going to be tucked away because the engine and the gearbox and all these exhaust manifolds. Well, that's a branch, not a manifold. The manifold is... Where's the exhaust manifold? It's in a box somewhere, I'm sure. But anyway, once all of this is sorted and back in the vehicle, all of the space gets up. These rims, I still haven't decided silver or white again. They look really, really good in white when they're clean, but it might be easier just to do them in silver. But the white kind of breaks the whole black red chrome, like I've said in many videos before. So I haven't done anything with those just yet. And then last thing guys, I have a collection of airboxes. Now each airbox has a different piece I need to butcher each one to make one functional airbox. So the important part that I was missing, and it's quite a small piece, you wouldn't think it's significant, is this guy. This lever is for the top flap for the air blend doors. So we've got the bottom one here. So the reason these are kept tucked away is because if these break, I'm buggered. I then have to buy a whole new airbox again. But basically people snap this piece off when they sell, and I can show you on the other airboxes. They snap it off here and then they lose this bit. Now what that means is you can no longer direct the air at your face or at the windscreen for the demister. So that kind of, this guy here, this guy was broken. This is the original one from the car. And this guy, other side. Same story. When they were taking this out of the vehicle, they were in a rush, they were heavy-handed, and they snapped that off. Nobody knows that's a problem until you try to fit one of these guys in. So, yeah, between 1, 2, and 3, we're going to use some of this material. I also managed to get some of this fabric insulation tape. But this is basically just speaker box material. What's going on there? I think someone's walking up and down the street. So this is just speaker box material. So I'm going to trim some of that and make that give the flaps. I need to just sand them down to get this contact adhesive sorted. Put some contact adhesive there and just glue it around the edge, and that'll just give the this piece is pretty interesting. So this outer piece actually comes out. You put the soundproofing on the inside and then snap it together and then just glue it over. So then at least it creates the seal, so that the, you know, when the foam is gone on these things, like it is on this. I mean, this one was completely disintegrated when I opened the airbox. It just crumbled in my hands. But when you put the fans on and you try to direct the airflow, it just whistles around these flaps. So it's really irritating and actually completely useless. You lose the direction at your feet, you lose the direction at your face. So yeah, we have to fix that. And while the airbox is in pieces and I have the fabric, we'll get that going. But I want to do the roof lining first. And having said that, guys, I'm going to call it a night for tonight. I've got some work to do. Getting the roof lining in. Like I say, this is probably going to be a weekend job. And yeah, I'm hoping that it'll have good results. It sounds pretty straightforward, the process I need to follow. And let's see how it happens when we crack on. Cheers for now. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more and be kept up to date, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to my channel. With your help, we can get this project complete and move on to the next one. Bye for now.